Most people believe that big changes in life come from big actions, a huge decision, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a moment so powerful that everything shifts overnight. But what if that isn't true? What if the biggest turning point in a person's life comes quietly, from something so small that most people would ignore it? Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you had the chance to help someone, and didn't? Not because you're a bad person, but because you were busy, distracted, tired, or maybe you thought, it's not a big deal, someone else will help. This story begins on a cold evening, in a crowded city where everyone was in a hurry, and no one had time for anyone else. There was a young man named Arif. He was not poor, but he was not successful either. He lived an ordinary life filled with unfinished plans and delayed dreams. Every day, he told himself he would do something meaningful, tomorrow. But tomorrow had a habit of never arriving. That evening, Arif was walking home after a long day that had achieved nothing. His mind was heavy with frustration. Bills to pay, goals not reached, time slipping away. As he walked past a busy street corner, he noticed an old man sitting on the pavement. The man's clothes were worn. His hands trembled slightly in the cold. Beside him was a small box with a few coins inside. People passed by him constantly. Some glanced. Most didn't even notice. A few looked, and then looked away. Arif slowed down for a moment. Just a moment. Inside him, two voices began to argue. One said, "Keep walking. You're already late. You can't help everyone." The other said nothing at first, but it didn't leave. He took a few steps forward, then stopped. Something about the old man's eyes, tired, quiet, but still hopeful, pulled him back. Arif reached into his pocket. He didn't have much, just enough for his own needs. For a second, he hesitated. Then he did something simple, something almost insignificant. He handed the old man some money and said softly, "Get something warm to eat." The old man looked up at him, surprised, not because of the money, but because someone had stopped. Their eyes met for a brief moment, and then the old man smiled. It wasn't a wide smile. It was small, but it was real. The kind of smile that carries gratitude deeper than words. Arif nodded and walked away. To him, it was nothing. A small act, a passing moment, something he would forget by the next day. But life has a strange way of remembering the moments we think don't matter. Days passed, then weeks. Arif's life continued as usual, still stuck, still waiting for something to change, still telling himself, soon. One afternoon, as he sat in a small cafe, scrolling aimlessly through his phone, a man approached his table. "Excuse me," the man said. "Are you Arif?" Arif looked up, confused. "Yes," the man smiled. "You may not remember me, but a few weeks ago, you helped an old man on the street." Arif tried to recall. Slowly, the memory returned. "Yes. I think so. It wasn't a big deal." The man's expression softened. "It was a very big deal." Arif put his phone down. "That old man was my father." Silence filled the space between them. "I had been searching for him for days." The man continued. "He had wandered off, confused and weak. When I finally found him, he told me about someone who stopped. Someone who didn't ignore him like everyone else." Arif listened quietly. He didn't remember much, the man said, but he remembered your kindness. He kept repeating it. Arif felt something shift inside him. "I've spent years building my business," the man went on. "I meet hundreds of people, but I never forget someone who shows kindness without expecting anything in return." He reached into his bag and placed a card on the table. "If you're ever looking for an opportunity, come see me." Arif looked at the card. It was from a well-known company, a company he had once dreamed of working with. I don't know what to say," Arif murmured. "Say nothing," the man replied gently. "Just remember this, what seems small to you may be life-changing for someone else." The man left. Arif sat there, staring at the card in his hand. For the first time in a long time, his thoughts were clear. That one moment, the moment he almost walked away, had quietly opened a door he didn't even know existed. But the real change wasn't the opportunity. It was what he understood. He realized that he had been waiting for something big to change his life, while ignoring the small moments that actually shape it. From that day on, Arif began to live differently. Not dramatically, not perfectly, but intentionally. He stopped waiting for the right time. He started taking small actions, helping where he could, showing up when it mattered, doing things he once delayed. And slowly, his life began to move. Opportunities came, not all at once, but one by one, and each one seemed to come from places he never expected. But more importantly, something inside him had changed. He no longer saw life as something that would happen later. He saw it as something happening now, in every small decision. Many people spend their lives waiting for a big moment, a breakthrough, a miracle, but life rarely works that way. It moves quietly, through small choices, small actions, small acts of kindness that seem meaningless, until one day, they aren't. Think about your own life. How many moments have you walked past without noticing? How many chances to do something good, something small, have you ignored? Not because you didn't care, but because you didn't think it mattered. But what if it does? What if one simple act, one decision to stop, to help, to care, could change something far bigger than you imagine? Not just for someone else, but for you. Because the truth is, kindness does not only change the world outside you, it changes the world within you. It makes you more aware, more present, more alive, and sometimes, without you even realizing it, it changes your direction. So the next time you find yourself in a moment where you can help, don't overthink it. Don't wait. Don't assume it's too small to matter, because that small moment might be the one that changes everything. Now I want you to be honest with yourself. What is one small act of kindness you have been holding back? Something you could do, but keep postponing? Decide it now. And more importantly, act on it today. Because your destiny is not built in the future. It is built in the small moments you choose, right now.